If you plan on purchasing the Nikon Z8 or you just received your Nikon Z8 and you have questions about any settings in your camera, let me know in the comment section down below and I'm more than happy to help you. When I received my Nikon Z8, there were some settings that I had to immediately change on my camera. First and foremost, for some strange reason, by default, the camera does not close the sensor shields when the camera is powered off. Go to Setup menu and under Sensor Shield Behavior at Power Off, check Sensor Shield Closes. This way your camera will not allow for dust to get inside your camera when you're exchanging your lenses. For those who appreciate long exposure photography, you will like the fact that the Nikon Z8 allows you to select much longer exposure times than the default 30 seconds, which is quite common on these cameras, but you have to first enable this feature. So go to your custom settings menu, shooting and display, and setting D5 extended shutter speeds, you want to go ahead and enable that. And now when you're exposing your shot manually, you can select shutter speeds up to 900 seconds. When you repeatedly press the display button on your camera, you can rotate between 5 screens on your camera's monitor and 4 screens inside your camera's viewfinder. To modify these displays for your convenience and efficiency, and to select how many different displays you want to begin with, go to your camera's custom settings menu, and under shooting and display, go to setting D17, custom monitor shooting display. Here you can enable and disable how many different displays you want, and you can also individually check the different tools that you want in each display. Everybody works a little bit differently when it comes to their displays, but I like to keep only 3 displays and I disable 2. On my first display, I like to cram as many useful features as possible. And then on my second display, I do not enable any features. This way, I don't have any distractions when I view my composition. And if you access setting D18, you can do the same thing for your viewfinder. You will notice that you're limited to up to 4 displays, unlike 5 for the monitor, but I like to do the same thing here. On my first display, I cram as many useful features as I like, and then I have one display where I don't have any distractions, so I can clearly see my composition. And if there's one tool I can't live without, it's the histogram. I highly recommend you always use a histogram when you're composing your shots. If you're like myself and you like to work very fast and efficiently, you may want to adjust some settings for your camera's focus point. By default, if you bump into one side of your monitor with your focus point, the focus point gets stuck. And then you may have to move into the opposite direction again, which is annoying at times when you've missed your subject. However, if you go to your custom settings menu, focus, and you enable the A10 setting, focus point wraparound, your focus point may now jump from one side of your monitor to the other. I think this allows for a much more efficient workflow. Now, if you really want to speed things up, you can go to setting A14 and you can set your focus points to move at a very high speed. By enabling these settings, you will be able to work very efficiently with your focus point. Clearly, there are a ton of different settings that you can dive into and everybody has a different workflow, but I personally found these settings to be very important. And once again, if you have any questions about any of the settings on the Nikon Z8, let me know in the comment section down below. And what were some settings that you immediately changed when you received your Nikon Z8?